Okay, I'm good whenever you are.
I feel like I look kind of drunk,
Like,
which
not
is kind of my usual state.
disinterested, right? It's like,
But my pitch to the side. What the
yeah, now
fuck?
you definitely are drunk. Yeah. Oh, now you're
That one
definitely
makes me
trying to
look like
pick
a
me
bitch.
up.
You know what? I'll just stand neutrally.
We'll make it work.
But
All right, Quinn, it is great to have you here. Actually, I should say thanks for having us more so on your movie studio here. And I really kind of wanted to just get together and ask a little bit about your upcoming projects. What really inspired you to create this noir film set in Los Santos?
so honestly, it was an ADHD passion project. I've always kind of wanted to get into something creative and make something like this. And one day I just sort of woke up and I was like, you know what? Today's the day. So I started writing, started planning, and now we're here.
It sounds like you've really had to push forward on a lot of that, and I would assume maybe there's a lot to that in your background. Can you tell us maybe a little bit about that and kind of how you got into filmmaking?
So I wouldn't say I necessarily got into filmmaking so much as I fell into it. I'm obviously a police officer. I've been with the PD for I think 5 years now. So I've had a lot of time to like build up relationships with people in the city, and I kind of wanted to leverage that to sort of pull together like a community project. And I thought, what better way to do that than something we could all make together and then watch together at the end.
Well, there are, seems to be a lot of characters in this film. Can you give us maybe a little bit of a brief overview of the storyline and then something about kind of those central characters?
Yeah, so this follows the story of a wealthy businessman and the circumstances surrounding his death. So we follow the story of his widow and how she processes the grief, and how she gets together with her old flame, who is a detective, to try and solve the murder of her husband.
Interesting. And some of the actors that you've hired, or that you've casted, I should say, can you tell us a little bit, about how you kind of assembled them and the crew, particularly for this?
Yeah, so I couldn't have asked for a better cast and crew, honestly. Everybody's been so helpful, so flexible, and extremely willing to do everything that they need to do. But the way that we did this was I gathered a couple people that I personally know to host casting calls with me. And we did an open casting call in the city. So we let anybody audition for the role. And then we went through, we reviewed all the footage, and we said, okay, let's see who fits each role best. And we just made our selections from there.
Oh, that's so much fun. You guys must have had a blast going through all of the casting.
Oh yeah, it was so much fun.
So quite the array of characters, I'm assuming, came out during that one. And,
Yeah, at one point we got rabies, I think. It was, I don't know, it was kind of a blur.
that's right. I remember that. The apparent zombie virus, I think, is what it was called. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. I showed up to the audition. I had somebody audition, and then I ended up like halfway across town with a really massive headache.
Such a distinctive style, as noir. How have you kind of approached this, or what's been kind of some of your tactics to really try and pull off that style in City?
So I wanted something that was going to be stylistic and that would read well. And my approach was, okay, what's going to be achievable in terms of like costuming and cars, but also feel like a proper movie that isn't just like a backyard skit with friends. So I chose a noir film because I thought that it was going to meet all of those criteria and also be like a fun and different experience for everybody.
Yeah, it seems like you guys have really, tried to nail that distinct style and doing it in City between a lot of the different locations. And I've even seen some of the cars that you guys are using. Can you tell me a little bit about, maybe some of the sets and some of the cars and things that you guys are using?
Yeah, so we went through and we found all of the historical cars we could buy off of backlots, auctions, everything that we could find. And then I did a lot of location scouting. So pretty much anywhere that would let me into their premises, I said, "Hey, I'm going to be filming a movie. Do you mind if I have a look around, see if this is a good spot for a set?" And so we've kind of settled on Salieri's as a big portion of this movie. The horse ranch up on Sonora is also a big part of this. And then the BCSO was gracious enough to allow us to borrow their police department as well, which was super nice of them.
Oh, that's awesome, and it's great to see some of the city coming together to help each other out. So can't wait to see some of those pieces and some of those locations. So I know everything. It sounds like it's going so well, but we have heard that films have all sorts of challenges and stuff. Can you guys share maybe some behind the scenes stories or challenges that you guys have had to face during production?
Oh boy, yeah. So there's obviously everybody messing up their lines occasionally, which is always met with lots of laughter. It's always super fun. And then we always have, just random people coming up and saying, "Oh, what are you guys doing? What are you getting up to?" Stuff like that. So, I think our biggest like consistent problem is store alarms. So I have to plead with the community, please stop hitting stores. But aside from that, it's actually gone really smoothly. Like we haven't had to do too many like reshoots. We haven't had too many problems with people like bothering us. So it's actually been a really enjoyable process.
It seems like the audience is probably something that you're trying to target here and maybe create some sort of takeaway. Is there anything that you're trying to help bring to the community with this movie?
So I wanted to basically just make sure that everybody knows that they could do this too. I think that I would love to see other people try to come up with similar productions, maybe TV shows or movies or whatever. And I'd love to help facilitate that. So I think the biggest takeaway for me is that anybody can do this. You just have to want it and just, work for it.
So the movie sounds like it's off to a great start. Any ideas on timeline or when and maybe where the fans can expect to see the film released?
We're about halfway through with filming, just shy of it. So I'm hoping we'll get it done like maybe August is like a good time for premiere.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, we're definitely going to look forward to it. And do you think we'll have the opportunity to maybe see it in city?
I hope so. So that was always the plan from the get-go. I'd love to do like a premiere with everybody. I'd love to do like where all the actors get on the red carpet and we do an interview maybe with everybody. And then I'd love to have tickets to actually go watch the movie like at the theater.
Oh man, a red carpet event would be so much fun. That would be a blast.
Yeah, it would be so fun.
All right, speaking of fun, we have just kind of a few rapid fire questions that are maybe a little silly. Are you all right with a few of those?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. All right, first one. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Teleportation. I need to be able to get where I'm going so fast.
Oh my god, time saver. I get it. What's your favorite movie snack?
A blue raspberry icy.
If you could cast any actor from history in one of your films, who would it be and why?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like Robin Williams. I know he's like recent history, right? But I feel like Robin Williams would be an absolute joy to work with.
Oh, that's such a good answer. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
What's the most unusual thing you keep on your desk?
This is weird, but her name is Mrs. Quackers, and she is the little stuffed animal duck toy that I had when I was a child.
Oh, keepsake. I get it. So there's some a little bit of nostalgia. I get it. That's hilarious. So
Yeah.
well, Quinn, we are all eagerly anticipating the release, and we really appreciate you taking the time to answer a few questions for our viewers. And best of luck with your film.
Thank you so much.